Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. I'm going to break down two big trades that happened this week in the NFL. First of all, Antonio Brown going to the Raiders for a third and a fifth. Now, take a good look at the Raiders now. Okay, you got Antonio Brown. You signed Tyrell Williams from the Chargers. So all of a sudden, these are your two starting wide receivers. Where after you traded Amari Cooper, your number one receiver was what? Jordy Nelson. He's no longer with the team. Huge upgrade in wide receivers. And John Gruden, for those of you who don't know, got into the NFL as a wide receivers coach. That's kind of a reason why I think getting a stud receiver like Antonio Brown going to the Raiders means a lot more than maybe if he went somewhere else, because Gruden knows what he's looking for in a wide receiver. So I think that this was really a great move for the Raiders. But look at these other moves, though. Trent Brown from New England and LaMarcus Joyner from the Rams. So you got a team that's big-time boosted the wide receiver core. You boosted your offensive line, and you boosted your secondary, and you still got 3 first-round picks. So what the Raiders are doing is really exciting. But the thing with the big free agent news, with Le'Veon Bell signing with the Jets and Antonio Brown you had to trade him, is that it says that the window for the Pittsburgh Steelers is either closing fast or it's already shut. I mean, this is a team, I think it's already shut, because you went from 7-2-1 to not making the playoffs. Now you definitely lose your top 2 players from last year. And yes, I know Le'Veon Bell didn't play, but what would he have been if he did play? Second or first? So it says a lot. But the Raiders, if I'm a Chiefs fan, you gotta fear the Raiders. This is a team that's really on the upswing. This is a team that's just said, hey, scratch everything. Let's build up from scratch. You know, they went ahead and traded down last year, got some extra picks, took some rolled the dice on some players. I'm a little interested to see if they're going to have Trent Brown on the right side and Colton Miller on the left side, because they gave Trent Brown left tackle money, but maybe just put him on the right. The Raiders want to run the ball, but they also have a massive improvement at wide receiver. So it's going to be very, very interesting what the Raiders do. I think this is a great job by the Raiders. And for the Steelers, this is going to be a very interesting year for them, because if they don't make the playoffs, I think explode that team. That means Ben Roethlisberger is going to be with a different team in 2020. So that's something I think that you really got to take a look at. So kudos to the now Oakland Raiders, but in 2020 when they go to Las Vegas, that's going to be a fun team to watch. So the Raiders are definitely a team to keep your radar on. Keep in mind these 3 first-round picks. Okay. OBJ to the Giants, and my reaction was completely different than everybody else. Everybody else just bashed the Giants big time and thought Cleveland just won the Super Bowl. Number one, Jabril Peppers is a good football player. This is a really good up-and-coming football player who had a lot of potential coming out of Michigan. Looked like he was on the verge of being a Pro Bowl safety this year. I can actually make a strong case who's a better player, Landon Collins or Jabril Peppers. In this new system that the Giants are going to play in, Peppers might actually be a better player than Landon Collins. People are way overlooking that you got a stud who's replacing the $84 million Collins, and you're getting possibly a better player. I mean, people really underestimate how good Jabril Peppers was. So you're trading, you're maybe the first, second, or third wide receiver. At worst, OBJ's third best wide receiver. One thing I want to make clear, though, is that the best offensive weapon on the Giants is Saquon Barkley, not OBJ. Okay? Let's get that out of the way right now. And then you get Golden Tate, you signed for half the money. So you Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley, even Evan Ingram. That's top 5 offensive skill talent position. It's just, can they get everything together? Because both Shepard and Golden Tate have played primarily in the slot. So how are they going to deal with them getting outside? Are they going to draft a receiver? Let me throw something out, because with this offense now, the way it's set up, let's say you use the draft chart. Well, the Giants pick is a sixth pick in the draft. That's worth $1,600. The 17th pick in the draft, which they now own, is worth $950. Do a little math. 1,600 plus $950 is $2,550. The second pick in the draft, which would be the fifth pick overall, has a draft value of, oh wow, did I do that wrong? Oh, no, I didn't. $530. $2,550 plus $530 equals $3,080. The first pick in the draft is $3,000. Let me ask you this. Let's say you're a Giants fan. How would you feel if they went ahead and traded both number ones and their number two for Kyler Murray? This could happen. Plus, you get a third round pick. That safety that you need to replace for Landon Collins, you already got that. What do you need on offense? Because you've made some moves on the offensive line. In my opinion, I think that what you're doing is you're drafting a quarterback and you're really looking forward to 2020. And the only question is, does Gettleman and Shermer keep their jobs for this year? Because you got a lot of draft capital. There's a lot of draft picks here for the Giants. You got 2 4th-round picks, 3 5th-round picks, 2 7th-round picks, 2 1st-round picks, a 2nd and a 3rd. That's a lot. That is a lot. So, what I see in the New York Giants is a team that's looking to blow up after this year. They're going to draft a rookie quarterback, and he's going to be a starter in 2020, and he's going to have a ton of weapons. So, Giants fans, I'm not really sure what to tell you for this year, but 2020, wow, you're going to have something fun and exciting. Now, for the Browns who think that they just won the Super Bowl, let me throw some things out at you here. Okay, you went from winless to now you're the AFC North favorite 2 years later. You got a rookie head coach who's never been a head coach before, a brand new defensive coordinator, a new defensive scheme. You need a strong safety to replace Peppers, plus you don't have a first-round pick. Now, are the Browns the favorites to win the AFC North? I think they are, and they have to be. Pittsburgh looks to me like they're falling apart. Baltimore, I mean, they're kind of in a revamp mode. However, Earl Thomas is a really, really good player. And then you got with the Bengals, which have been very, very quiet so far. I'm not really sure what to expect from them, but the Bengals may be a team that may be a pleasant surprise. Yes, I know. I love them +7 last year, over 7 last year, and they didn't do it. So my analysis for these trades is that I think the Raiders are doing exactly what John Gruden wanted to do. Veteran receivers, rebuild the team the way he wanted, massive offensive tackle, ultra athletic left tackle. I think Brown's actually going to be the right tackle, but we'll see how it works out. Let's say you want Miller on the right side, still very athletic right tackle. I think it's a good first-round pick. A lot of people didn't like it. I did. LaMarcus Joyner, hey, look, man, you're playing in the AFC West. You can't have too many good defensive backs. So kudos to the Raiders. For me, the Steelers, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think you blow the whole team up. So I think a lot of people, including Ben Roethlisberger's job's on the line this year. I think Tomlin's on the line this year. I think Roethlisberger's on the line this year. I could really see Pittsburgh just blowing up. And by the way, they have been drafting quarterbacks, in case you haven't noticed. So that's something to kind of watch out for. Now, with the Browns and the Giants, I really don't think this is this bad of a trade. Let me ask you something, New York Giants fans. Let's say you draft either Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins, and they start in 2020 and look something like Patrick Mahomes did. How mad are you? You're not mad, are you? Like, obey you? Yeah, and by the way, the talent that you stockpile on an offense, that I really think that this is actually going to be a team that's going to be competitive. I think the offensive line injuries that you had last year, I think that this is a team that I mean, this is a tough division. I mean, you got the Cowboys, which think that they're a Super Bowl team. I think they're a playoff team. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. The Eagles still think that they can win a Super Bowl with wins. Now the Redskins, that's kind of a crazy story, but can the Giants make the playoffs in 2019? Absolutely, 100%. The number one thing I think Giants fans are really overlooking is that you got a guy who could be better than Landon Collins, and you're paying him, a tiny fraction of what you're paying Landon Collins. You may end up getting a better player. I'm not saying he's a better player right now, but at the end of this year, which player is going to be better? I think you'd be surprised. I think you're going to be really, really happy, Giants fans, because Peppers can play. Really good player. And if you use this draft capital from OBJ to get a future stud QB, you're really going to like this trade. 2 years ago, the Bears traded from 3 to 2 with San Francisco. Everybody thought they got suckered by the 49ers, including myself. Well, 2 years later, the 49ers are picking second in the draft, and the Bears went to the playoffs with their Pro Bowl quarterback. So who got suckered? Who didn't? So keep in mind, even though everything looks good for the Browns right now, be warned. Just be careful. It's a lot different when you're the favorite than sneaking up on people last year, winning games unsuspecting. So keep that in mind. So if you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I can't thank you enough. And all your wildest dreams will come true. You know this. But if you're new to my channel, it's the first time checking it out, there's this little subscribe button right down there. Check it out. It's a little red button right there. BAM! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Wait till tomorrow where I break down the 11th pick in the draft for the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll see you tomorrow.